briefly?
No, I was trying to do a background, but I decided to give up because it's not worth it.
Okay.
All right. So we are now streaming. All right. I am Michelle Rehill. I am the chairperson of the Library Trustees, and I call this meeting of the trustees to order at 7:02 p.m. I will now read our message from the governor. This open meeting of the Library Board of Trustees is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of June 16, 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. All members of the Library Board of Trustees are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows the Library Board of Trustees to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. Having read that, I will now do a roll call of the members. When I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. So, Mitch Cohen.
Mitch Cohen, hello.
Hello. Mary Crowley, not present. All right. Jim Hogan.
Jim Hogan here.
Jocelyn McElhenney.
Jocelyn McElhenney here.
Hey. Beth, I'm not going to officially call you because I believe you have not been sworn in. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Richard Tucker.
Richard Tucker here.
All right. And I'm Michelle Rehill. I'm here. And we also have with us Jen Bruneau. And as part of my official opening remarks, one, I would like to welcome Jocelyn back to the board. We're very happy to have you back. And I would like to introduce Beth Samus, who is our, I might not have pronounced that correctly. If I didn't, we'll fix that. She's our trustee in waiting. She has been appointed to the board, but she has not been sworn in yet. So once she gets sworn in, she will be able to attend and vote and all of that. But she is here as our guest tonight. So, opening remarks being concluded, would someone like to make a motion to accept the minutes of the meeting from May 3rd?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of May 3rd as presented.
Thank you, Mitch. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, thank you, Richard. All right, again, we need to do this by roll call. All those in favor of approving the minutes as submitted, Mitch Cohen.
Mitch Cohen, aye.
Jim Hogan.
Jim Hogan, aye.
Can Jocelyn vote? Did you see the, no?
I'd have to abstain.
Richard Tucker.
Richard Tucker, aye.
I also say aye. The motion carries in the affirmative with one abstention. All righty. Moving on to the appropriations report. Does anyone have any comments, questions? I know, Jen, the original packet you sent us had a note at the bottom about money that has been, the word just got away from me, not expended, but is committed.
Yep, we have, in addition to the note, which is that roughly $7,000 for overdrive has been committed and just wouldn't be reflected on this invoice. We do have quite a few other invoices. It's not uncommon for a lot of our stuff to be renewed at the end of the year, right in the middle of the last month. So a lot of that, it looks like we have a lot of money left over, but it's actually kind of misleading. We've actually committed a good percentage of that funds, of those funds, and the rest will be spent by the end of the month.
All right. So does anyone have any questions or comments? No, not at this time. All righty. And Beth, in case you have questions, if you want to look at this and ask questions of either Jen, or you can contact me if you would like. If you want any explanations, otherwise we can touch on some of these things at the July meeting, if you'll be with us at the July meeting. So if nobody has any questions about the appropriations report, we will move on to the library director's report.
Does anybody have any questions? It was lengthy. I
It was.
apologize.
Uh,
We have done a lot.
You have done a lot. I feel as if you've told us just about everything we need to know, but if anyone has any questions about anything on there, Mitch?
I'll just make a comment thanking you for continuing to spend lots and lots of time on Hoopla, particularly. I know that's taken a lot more of your time than it should by the service they provide, but your time is appreciated because I know the public uses the service and you're helping to make it a lot better.
Thank you. Yeah. And that's part of, like, it's become kind of a pet project, and I've been doing some of it with my free time because I don't want to take up too many hours in my work day. I would have canceled the service if they weren't easier to work with, just for the number of hours that it is taking to clean up the collection. But I think it's important because if they use me as a framework, then they have that framework, and there's no reason for them not to make that available to other libraries. So that's kind of the reasoning for why I'm sticking with it.
It
Plus,
definitely sounds like you are, the work you're putting into it is benefiting not just the Northborough patrons, but many other users of Hoopla around the country. So that's great.
Yeah, and I think libraries need a framework for collections of this sort because they are becoming more popular, and there are more competitors to Hoopla than there used to be now. Nothing with the size of the collection quite yet, but this is sort of one model for collection services for the future. So we would like to see some kind of better framework. And if Hoopla is willing to help us create that framework, then all the better for the next 5 or 10 years anyway, of wherever streaming models are going.
And then also when the article appears in Library Journal, could you forward that to us? We may have trouble getting a hold of that. I don't know, but that would be great to read.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah, I'm really, thank you for working on that article. And I liked your comment about wanting to keep the subscription because that's the only way you get to have voice in what happens. And again, I agree with you that it's important because of this is the future and there will be other vendors, and it is good to have a framework for how to approach it.
Great.
All right. Are there any other questions about the report?
Curious
If not,
the new logo ideas.
sorry.
I said, I noticed there's a new logo mentioned in the report.
Yes, I haven't heard from her yet. She was hoping to have something for me by now, but looking at look familiar.
I think
Is she slow for anybody else?
I'm sorry.
Is she breaking up for anybody else?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just, Jen, your audio hiccuped.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Mhm.
Yep, you can.
Okay. Yes, I'm hoping to have more for you on the logo and have something for you to take a look at within the next week or so. So definitely for the next meeting to discuss.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. If there aren't any other questions about the director's report, it's time to move on to the new business of the election of officers. You should receive this part of the packet, the minutes from the meeting of the nominating committee. And they have submitted a proposed slate of officers with Michelle Rehill as the chair, Mitch Cohen vice chair, Jim Hogan as the secretary, and Richard Tucker as the treasurer. We all have that. Are there any comments or discussion about the slate of officers? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. Last chance for anyone. For all those in favor of accepting the recommendation of the nominating committee, say aye. Mitch Cohen,
Mitch Cohen, aye.
Jim Hogan,
Jim Hogan, aye.
Jocelyn McElhenney.
Can I vote on this?
I think yes, because it's
I think you're
current.
right.
Then Jocelyn McElhenney, aye.
Thank you. Richard Tucker,
Richard Tucker, aye.
Michelle Rehill says aye. The motion carries unanimously in the affirmative. Thank you one and all for being willing to participate. Keep the board
Michelle,
going.
thank you very much for continuing to be willing and be a great chair. I really appreciate your time.
Why, thank you. So that means next month on our agenda, I'm going to make a note of this. The standing subcommittee assignments will come out, and those subcommittees are the administrative committee, the long range planning committee, and building and grounds. If anyone has any specific leanings, you can let me know. I think I heard Justin say should be willing to do admin again.
I have unfinished business.
Yes. You do. All right. So I will do those committee assignments and have them ready for the next meeting. It will be on the agenda. Are there any other things that anybody would like to discuss? No comments?
So, oh, go ahead, Mitch. It's probably the same thing.
I just wanted to let the board and the public know, as I'm taking every opportunity I can, that on Thursday evening at 6:30 p.m. there will be a public input meeting for the ARPA funds. And it's going to be held in person at the high school library and also by Zoom. So it will be a hybrid meeting. For those unfamiliar, the town received about $4.5 million from the federal government, most of which has not been spent yet, and is up to the Board of Selectmen to spend almost any way the board so chooses. And I would love for some ideas to come through from the library. The building committee did meet back a few weeks ago and tossed around some ideas. We haven't met since. I know we were waiting for all sorts of things. I don't know if Jen, if you have any new information on that, in which case I will stop talking and let you talk. But anyway, I really am hoping to get some great ideas from the community for all sorts of things that will benefit the community, small ideas and large ideas. I'll step off my ARPA soapbox now. Thank you.
All right.
What day and
I
time
was raising
that,
my
Mitch?
hand to remind everybody about the meeting too.
I'm sorry, Richard.
What was the day and time again?
This Thursday, the 16th at 6:30 p.m. And again, it will be in person at the high school library as well as on Zoom.
I can give you a quick update. I have been having trouble finding the architectural drawings for the library. At Michelle's suggestion, I reached out to the architect that did the renovation and expansion of the library, and they had digital copies So I just got those. I got them yesterday. So now I can send them off to Demco. I forwarded them the team of designers that are helping us look at pricing for several different internal, like small renovation. Well, I say small. We're talking about furniture only, so comparatively small. Updates to some of the spaces. The lobby is one that we talked about, the meeting room, a couple of spaces upstairs, and then a bigger renovation of the children's room layout and furniture. So they couldn't get too far without, they needed video, photos from every angle. They needed photos of every outlet, any fire pull stations, anything fixed to the wall. And then they needed like from every corner. So they sent me all these like PowerPoint diagrams of how to stand and where to take the photo. So we've got all that, but they needed, for obvious reasons, those architectural drawings so that they have the square footage and all that. So they will now have everything that they need to proceed with pricing quotes for us and some design suggestions. So I would guess that in the next couple of weeks, we'll have that information and we'll be ready to meet again.
Okay.
Great.
It's not like they're very thorough with the, with the information that they're asking you for. They're not messing around. If they're asking where electrical outlets are and everything,
It
That's
sounds like they learned from mistakes.
could be.
They sent in the PowerPoint, it had like, here was the order for shelving at one library. And then when they went to install it, it didn't work because the pull stations were covered by some of the shelving and they hadn't accounted for that since it doesn't necessarily show up. So then they had to take the shelving apart and like and that's a huge expense and time and all that. And it's very disappointing for everybody. So, it was a lot of upfront work, but that's totally fine. I would rather have that than like stacks of metal shelving that doesn't fit somewhere.
Makes sense. All right. Any other updates? News, comments? If not, then I will announce that the next meeting will be July 12th at 7 p.m. And if there is no other business coming before the board, I would welcome a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
Thank you. All righty, so all those in favor of adjourning the meeting, Mitch Cohen,
Mitch Cohen, aye.
Jim Hogan,
Jim Hogan, aye.
Jocelyn McKelney,
Jocelyn McKelney, aye.
Richard Tucker.
Richard Tucker, aye.
I also vote aye. Motion carries unanimously. The meeting is adjourned at 7:20 p.m. Beth, don't get used to them all as being this quick, and